I'm Jeffrey Rickman. I'm the preacher here at First Methodist, Yazoo City. And I had the joy of sitting down with our new mayor a couple weeks ago. I've only been here like 5 months. I'm trying to get the lay of the land here in Yazoo City. And I've noticed that on Facebook, as I'm trying to follow what's going on, there's a lot of movement around the sheriff's office. And so I reached out to Sheriff Jeremy McCoy, and he said he'd be willing to come in and visit with me. So I'm happy to welcome Sheriff McCoy into the First Methodist Church. Welcome. How are you?
Yes, sir. Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Well, I appreciate you making the time to come by and talk to me. I'm interested, of course, in some of the drama around guys driving around in the back of trucks with guns shooting in city, and some of the curfews and stuff going on, but I don't think it'd be right to start there.
Right.
I'm more interested just on the front end. I'm from Oklahoma. I moved here 5.5 months ago. Different city government structure, different county government structure. We have sheriffs in Oklahoma, and I knew my previous sheriffs. But I'm curious to know you and kind of what you're about. And so let's just start at the beginning. Are you from Yazoo County?
Yes, sir.
You grew up here?
Grew up here.
How old are you?
37.
Okay, a little bit younger than me.
Right.
That's good. We're middle-aged guys together,
right,
running things. And
right.
you were, how long you been in law enforcement?
Since 2009.
Okay.
About 15 years.
Yeah, and you don't have any gray hair yet. Good job. It hasn't given you any wrinkles yet. Very good. Okay, so did you go to public school here?
Yes, I went to Yazoo City High School.
Okay.
Graduated from Yazoo City High School. The whole everything I've done been here in Yazoo City.
I want to hear your characterization of what the high school was like in your time there.
Man, I'm kind of different. I went to school, but I never was really involved in the school environment. I didn't go to many games. I didn't go to many dances. I don't even think I ever went to a prom. I got out of school. I did my work. I went to help my dad do some work. Did stuff around the house, hunt, fish. So high school was just a step in the process for me. I never got involved in anything.
What did your dad do for work?
He's a carpenter.
Carpenter. Okay, so do you know carpentry?
Yeah.
You say that matter of fact. I don't know carpentry.
Oh yeah. I still do electrical, HVAC, daily now.
Do you really? So you're full-time sheriff and you do your own HVAC and carpentry work?
Right.
You stay busy.
All the time.
You're not married? You are married. Look, you have a wife. You have kids?
4.
You don't sleep then?
Not much.
Okay.
Not much.
Keeping that candle burning on both ends. Wow.
Right.
So you weren't a loner exactly, but you just had a happy home life and you grew up in a stable home and you had your own thing going on, so you didn't need to run around a lot.
At all. If I wasn't at school or working, I was hunting.
So what made you want to go into law enforcement then?
Man, the Chief Snow, Artis Harris, he's an investigator now, and Patrick Jaco, I went to school with them.
Okay.
So they used to come by my mama's house. They was policing before I was, so they'd come by the house and was showing me the cars and the lights and all that, and I kind of took a liking to it. But I wasn't 21 at the time. So we was in a horse club with Chief Snow. He was the chief at the time. And I asked him about it, and he said, man, you turned 21, I'll hire you. And, went and talked to him once I turned 21, and he hired me. And I've been in love with law enforcement ever since. It's just like it's my calling. I mean, it's what I do daily.
You adrenaline junkie?
Big time.
You are? Okay. All right, so whenever sirens are going,
I'm going.
You're going. You go.
Right.
You go from here to here.
Right.
You're low key right now, but you'll escalate right up here when the moment requires.
Go time. We got to go.
Okay. Your team over there. How many guys and gals do you have in the sheriff's department?
We have 8 on patrol. I had 2 in the investigation, but I'm currently redoing my structure. So now I got 1 investigator. I got 1 special operation commander and a chief deputy. And I got 6 part-time deputies.
So 9 total people under you?
That's 8, 10, 11, 17.
Okay, I can't count. Okay, 17. Okay, so that's a good size. And then of those 17, how many have been here for a while and how many are relatively new?
think 2 started with me when I came in office. Only 2, and the other one's been coming in, but it had some been here, you know, a year and a half or so like that.
Okay. So there's the place I came from is a rural county in Oklahoma. Retention was a big issue for us because we had the lowest salaries that were legally afforded by the state. And then as soon as we got somebody of quality, a place with more money would take them from us. And so it's a catch-22 where you want to have good guys, but you don't want them to get trained so good so that go somewhere else. Right. It's really hard to hold on to them. I spoke with the mayor about, you know, we've had a lot of turnover in law enforcement here. And his mind was, we've just got to find these guys, hope God raises up these guys that just love their community. They don't want to be anywhere else, and they don't want to get rich. They just want to protect their community. Do you feel like you have a good crew aimed in that direction?
For the most part, I do. I've been blessed that, you know, when I give them my vision and they bring it to reality. You know, I've never been with such a group that actually wants to make that happen. We start off paying $42,500. Well, that's the pay.
I don't think that's bad. Really.
And the federal prison give a $40,000 sign-on bonus just to come out there and work. Okay. And about $47,000 to $52,000 a year starting off.
Oh, okay.
So all around us, they paying more than us. Even here at the city police department, they get overtime. I'm working on that now at the county because the county has a policy to where they can't get overtime. But I can make my own policy to where, you know, as first responders, we can get overtime, but we kind of working out the kinks because it's been a back and forth thing on that. But the pay is one thing, but the only thing I can really do is treat them right. Treat them real good, make them feel included, you know, try to be there for them, you know, involved in their personal life. Hey, my son got a game, my daughter do what you need to do. I'm here to help you. If you need me to cover for you, the sheriff, I will. So just whatever I can do to just show them, hey, I can't pay you much, but I can treat you great.
I think that as one who's had a series of jobs across my life, work environment makes a big difference.
Right.
If you're making a bunch of money but getting treated like crap, I would rather make a little bit less and be treated with dignity. So I think that's wise on your part. It's kind of an intimidating thing. If I was thinking about law enforcement in Yazoo City, do you feel like from the outside looking in, it's hard to figure out? There's a lot of counties that don't have their act together. Things are getting out of control. From the outside looking in, coming in new, seeing a lot of attention on the housing projects, curfew being imposed, firearms being discharged in city limits frequently. I was told before I moved in, they were cleaning up the parsonage. They found bullets on top of the roof when they were cleaning it up where I live. It feels kind of like things are going in a certain direction that's not good. And so part of the reason I wanted to sit down and talk to you was because I do get the feeling that you're aggressively on top of it. You're pushing back. You're doing everything can be done. I kind of wanted to just give you space to talk about the broader picture as you see it, and then the things that you and your deputies are doing to meet the challenge where it is. So as I kind of describe what I'm seeing from the outside, is there any kind of corrective that you think is needed, or do you think there's more texture needed, or do you think that I'm accurately apprehending the situation for what it is?
Oh yeah, you're right on it. I
okay.
mean, I'm one of the ones, I'm not gonna sugarcoat our problem, because when you act like you don't have a problem, you don't get help. And we need all the help that we need, that we can get.
Right.
Resources, networking. I'm all the time on the phone with other sheriffs, Homeland Security, DEA, MBN, just anybody that could come in and help us out and help formulate a plan on how not we can just fix this, stop this now,
right?
Keep it going, just wipe it out. And
what I talked about with the mayor, the method that's always made sense to me is policing broken windows, aggressively, proactively hitting things before they fall apart too much. Are you sympathetic to that, or are there other models of policing that you find to be more promising?
What's been working for us, we're very proactive.
So you would identify with that policing broken windows strategy.
Very
you see just a household falling apart, you see somebody loitering around, just stopping and asking questions.
Right.
rather than, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That was one of my primary concerns. So that's good. And you found it to be effective.
Very. Look, we don't sit back and wait on calls. You
Okay.
know, our call volume has dropped tremendously because we're out being proactive. You see us, and you don't just see us at the store getting a drink. We working. They doing drive-by shooting. We pulling cars over because that's how you gonna get the illegal guns out. You know, if you tag light out, if we can get a legit stop on you, we're gonna pull you over. Hey, if you got it, if you're supposed to have the weapon, you got it legal, great, that's your right. If you're not supposed to have it, I got to have you. And that's been working because not only once they see that you're being proactive and you're actually working, and they're gonna say, hey, we can't do this tonight. Or we better go sit down because they're gonna get caught. And I'm letting you know when I catch you, this is who I got, and this is what I got with him, and this is how much time you're getting. So they're sending a broader message that, well, hey, I can't catch everybody, but when I get you, I got you.
Yeah.
And it's,
And the place I came from, we were in a corridor from the state line of Kansas down to Tulsa. We were in between, so there was a lot of drugs got ran through. So we just had guys stationed on the highway, pull them over for any infraction. We had so many drug busts that way. They were, they're driving high or something. Or
Right.
they'd go to the casino and leave a little tipsy or something. I wonder if is Yazoo City on a corridor of any sorts like that? Do a lot of drugs move through?
They do. We had a K-9 officer, but we only run 2 deputies on a shift.
Okay.
So 2 deputies have to cover 956 square miles. So working a K-9, once you get out there and go to work in addiction, you get a call over here by a domestic. So you got to put your dog up and you got to roll over here and answer calls. Then you get a wreck somewhere else. So you overworking your K-9 officer because he got to work the dog and catch calls. So that easily burns somebody out. And you're not very effective because you can't put, the time in that's needed to get out there and work that interdiction, to pull those vehicles over and, actually get those drug busts. So,
is that more of a money problem or a personnel problem?
Money.
Okay. Okay. And then the main means of getting money for your department would be local taxes and the local government, well, the county government,
right,
apportioning more money to your department.
Right.
Okay. That's okay. Well, that's beyond my scope. But I was interested in the drug problem, and then there's violent crime, and these things relate. When we're talking about policing broken windows, one of the things that I would note, living in a different place and then coming here, is there is not as much concern in Yazoo City for abiding by some kind of basic traffic laws. A lot more running red lights that I've seen. A lot more swerving in and out of the lanes. I'm worried. I'm curious. You guys are mostly out on the highway when you have guys out, or do you do city traffic as well?
Most of our problems are inside of the city limits, so that's where we are focused.
Inside city limits?
Inside the city limits, and put that time in. Like I said, if it's an infraction, we're going to enforce it.
Okay.
But we can't do that every day, all day, because we have to protect the entire county.
Right. Yeah, traffic's just a small part of
right.
the larger mandate that you have. Now, where I was before, we had city PD and sheriff for the whole county. Is that how it works here as well?
Right.
Okay. So how would you describe the working relationship between sheriff's office and local PD?
It's always been a disconnect. Since
Really?
I've been in there, it's been a disconnect always and forever. I can't really just say what the breakdown is or why it's a breakdown, but that's one of the things that I campaigned on. I wanted to deputize every police officer that they had. But, I guess politics got in the way, feelings got in the way. A lot of people didn't like the fact that the sheriff was 36 years old. And here they is, 50, 60, and still working shifts. A lot of people don't like that. But nevertheless, we still got a job to do. I'm not a problem-based person. I'm a solution-based person. So I'm gonna go there and figure it out, whatever needs to happen. And if I need to come into the city limits and do whatever we need to do, then hey, we coming. We coming in to help. You ain't got to call. We here. We hear something going on. We want to plan it out with you. Do whatever we need to do to ensure safety for everybody. While this event is going on, graduation coming up, they called us, wanted us to be at the graduation. So just whatever needs to happen, but there has always been a breakdown in city and county law enforcement working together.
So if I asked other law enforcement that's been in it for a while, they would say this goes way back before you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That bothers me. Mm-hmm. I don't like that.
I hate it because the horse that'll kick in the city, will kick in the county. We're doing the same thing. You know, so why not? We should be on the same RMS system. We should be on the same body cam system.
Is RMS, is that the radio?
The record management system.
Oh, okay. Okay. Y'all should be on, but instead you've got this duplication of services and not much collaboration.
No collaboration.
Man, I don't like that, Sheriff.
I don't like it.
What needs to happen?
Like I said, it just need to be two people on the same accord, a sheriff and a chief, that understands that we're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
We just got jurisdictional things.
I don't want to cause any drama, but I do want to, I mean, for public safety, you got to have whoever's responsible working together. Right. So, okay, I've already decided at the end of our time, I'm going to pray over that situation right there. But then for folks who watch this, I don't know how aware everybody is of that particular thing, but that deserves some prayer and some attention. Let's get our city PD and our sheriff's department working together. Because, okay, here's the picture that's been constructed for me. Whenever I was being told about moving out here, I was looking at this church. They admitted, you know, this is a downtown church. Once upon a time, downtown was like a nice place. And this was, you know, there was some money in this town. A lot of farmers going way back, and they were happy to live in town. This was their church to come into, but about half my people now have moved way outside of town. Some are driving in 30, 45 minutes to go here on a Sunday morning. Now that the pejorative for that is white flight, you know, the notion being like white people just don't want to live around black people. But knowing my people, that's not really where the heart of it is. They've said there's been a rise in crime for a long time.
Right.
And so I asked about that crime. I said, is it gang? Is it violent? And they said, no, it's really been more just like low-level crime, just juvenile delinquency, fatherless homes, you know, just little young men getting into trouble. But then the impression I'm getting is that it is changing into more organized, gang-related, violent crime going on here. So you're nodding your head, so you're not disagreeing with me. What kind of, you said you're on the phone to Homeland Security, you're doing what you can to connect dots. Are you familiar with any municipalities that have dealt with similar stuff and been able to effectively push crime out?
That's one of the things what makes it so bad is it's going on everywhere. I don't care whether it's in Madison or Brandon or Jackson. This problem is not just a Yazoo thing. Like we're having this problem everywhere. So that's what makes it so hard to get the outside agencies to come in, because they short-handed and they spread out everywhere. So they may be able to come in the Yazoo for a day or a few hours, but they got to go. You know, at one time last year when they were having the homecomings, it was like 6 or 7 homecoming, you know, shootings all over the state. So where you could call NBI in to assist on a scene here, they spread out. You know, they got their crime scene unit in Hattiesburg. So it'll take them 6 hours before they can get here and help us on a crime scene. So it's not, it's a widespread problem that we all are having. But I am in the process of developing like a task force. Back when I was on the police department, we had a thing called the Mississippi Strike Team. And municipalities and sheriff's offices all over the state were a part of it. And if some big event was going on in your area, you can contact the strike team and they'll send 20, 30, 40, 50 additional units here. Just like that, whenever you needed them. But funding got in the way and that kind of dissolved over the years. So with me seeing the rise of it in the Delta areas, like in the Delta, like we don't have the resources, we don't have the money to pay the good seasoned officers that's gonna come in and do a real good job. So we're having to start low level and kind of pick, you know, out of a different pool, because, you know, everybody that really gonna get out here and do a good job, and, you know, like they go to DeSoto County and Harrison County, these places that paying real good money, got real good benefits. So if we can get this task force started, you know, hey, Well, we have 3 or 4 different investigators that can come in and help solve a violent crime or a big murder, you know, because you got 5 or 6 different people, and they all are subject matter experts on solving crimes. And that's what it's going to take.
You think?
We got to get more
I would think
people
that solving local crime would involve a lot of just local knowledge of like who the personalities are, who the different, you know, how the town works, and people from outside of town couldn't do a lot of that work. But with people doing violent crime, is it mostly locals, or do you feel like it's guys coming in from out of town and causing trouble?
Most of it is locals. But the thing that we have in here, and what makes it so hard, is people don't trust law enforcement. They know exactly what's going on, but they're not going to tell you.
Why? Why don't they trust y'all?
Well, one of the things is
because the town is small enough for them to know you guys and like know where you come from.
They know you. They know you, but they also that's the curse from the blessing, because they know who in law enforcement and shouldn't be in law enforcement. They know who's in law enforcement and who's corrupt. So they also know that I can go and tell somebody something, and before I get out of the department, it's back out in the street that I'm in there telling. So people don't trust law enforcement because they see us out there. Well, not myself. I'm just saying I'm speaking law enforcement, but they see us out there racing and doing all these different things with the same people that we expected to police. So it's like, well, how can I, you know?
The town I came from was the county seat, Nowata, and then there was a tiny town of 300 people north of us in a town called Delaware. It was overrun with meth. And they would know, they would get a team together to go do a bust. And then they would show up and there would be nobody there because somebody called ahead, let them know.
Yep.
So what you're describing is not unique to here at all. And I'm glad you know that what you're going through here is very common everywhere else. But it feels like there's a place for snitches. You got to have your snitches telling you who's actually corrupt, and you got to get them out of there. Man, I'm so glad we're having this conversation. I didn't anticipate you being this frank with me, because not many guys at the top are going to acknowledge sometimes there's members of the team that don't have their heads in the right place. But if I'm a normal citizen, I want to know that you are aware of that problem, that you have your eye on it. Do you feel like you have the means to deal with that problem over time? Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Like, my staff, no, I don't do that at all.
Could you tell me, you've only been in your position for a couple of years. In that time, have you exposed any corruption in your department or local PD, or does there need to be a lot more movement here?
It needs to be a lot more movement.
Okay.
Like I said, being in my first term, I done seen a lot. I done seen a lot about city and county government that ain't right. I know several law enforcement officials that ain't right. But my number one objective is to be transparent with the community and say, well, hey, I know what they doing. I need you to know what I'm about. I need you to know that you can trust me. You can come to me and tell me information. I don't need your name. I just need the information. So that's why I'm very transparent to say, well, hey, you can trust me. You can come talk to me. We can, we can make this
Everybody says you can trust me, but there's got to be a way to earn it and keep it, and there's got to be a way to see the people who don't do that and expose that corruption. And that's where a lot of towns break down. It just turns into, he's my relative. I know this guy, I went to school with him. I don't really care if he's corrupt. I'm his guy. But man, if you want to turn a city around, you got to have, and that's why I think small towns like this are at an advantage, because you can have a reputation. People can know who you are, and they can know your kin and all this. So as you're talking about this, I'm getting so intimidated, because it's a lot of the same guys. Y'all have known each other all your lives. You've known your people all your lives, and you're all looking at the same problems and agreeing that it's a problem, but there's all this interpersonal stuff that seems to get in the mix. So need the preachers to get involved, help everybody. I don't know what needs to happen, but
like I said, you get what you pay for. And
you feel like a lot of this problem would go away if there was more money for salaries?
For sure, because you can get people that actually have a general interest. It's just like out at the jail. We only pay $13.83 an hour to do this job at the jail. Now, if I can get a cell phone in there, that's $1,000.
You're saying if someone were to smuggle a cell phone into
Right.
an inmate or a person who's incarcerated or put in there, you can get $1,000 for
Right.
that. So if you're hurting for money, easy way to make money. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it all goes back to that. Now, true enough, you signed up for the job knowing what you was getting paid when you signed up for it. So there's no excuse. And I'm not saying that I'm even going to turn a blind eye to it, because you still going to jail if I catch you bringing that phone in there.
Yeah.
But that's just one of the
Takes away the
problems.
incentive. I just the way that I've understood people everywhere is that they're just terrible at budgeting. So you pay them more money, they just get into more debt. So
Right.
they're always going to, if they're of a certain character, going to take more money if they can, so
Right.
they can spend more money. So part of me agrees with you. You get what you pay for, and then part of me agrees with the mayor, where it really is unfortunate because you guys, you're first responders, you're on the front line. When there's a kid who's seeing something awful happen, and you guys are the guys that show up and you make things better. And you would just think that there's a whole generation of young men that's seen police make things better, that's been there for them in the clutch, and they want to be there for their community later. But there's something in that pipeline that isn't working out. And so you said that the population here doesn't trust local law enforcement because there are ones that they know are corrupt. But here, so where I've been at, law enforcement's mostly white, and then a lot of the crime is black, so you've got a racial element there, immediate suspicion. You don't really have that here. Most of your law enforcement's black. So that's not a racial component, but it still feels like there should be more young men and women coming up saying, I want to do that. Do you feel like there is a breakdown there, or do you feel like there are young ones coming up that are interested?
Man, that's why I'm so prevalent into the school district and with the kids, because back when I was in school, in the elementary, that's what everybody wanted to do. Police,
I don't know about your
firefighter.
involvement in the school. Can you talk about what you're doing in the school?
Yeah, man, I do boot camps. I've been doing those since 2012, to where we go there and 5-week programs. We get them after school in the summer and just introduce them to different things. Big on discipline, the whole program, because I can't teach you nothing if you don't listen to me. But we go there, we get them the hunter safety course. We might teach them how to change tires, put door locks, just doing different things.
Practical
to get
life skills?
Right.
But also discipline and communication. Okay. And do you design kind of the program around that, or are you adopting that from a larger, someone designed this for?
No, this everything
you.
that I did. Just knowing what we see in the community. Like, you'd be surprised. It's grown men that don't know how to put a doorknob on.
Yes.
So that's something that, okay, well, I can save my mama $150 if me as a 10-year-old, I know how to do this. So it's just being beneficial inside of your home. Boys growing up to be men instead of just growing up to be old boys, to where we can start being proactive and role model citizens in our communities and stand up in our communities instead of just, well, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Or I'm a grown man, I see a 12-year-old over here, I ain't gonna say nothing to him. I'm scared to say something to him, but I shoot this grown man for stepping on my shoe. I kill him. Men have to be men again and step up in our community. So that's why I decided to start this and get with these young men and just kind of show them a way of how to be proactive inside of their community. Show them how to be prosperous with what they have here.
You said you've been doing this since how long?
2012.
I thought you said that. That's a long time. So, well, yeah, that's a long time. How would you, and that's just been you, or has your deputies come alongside and done that too?
Well, I was actually a deputy. I was the DUI officer for the
Yeah, because you've only been sheriff for 2
Right.
years.
So it was me and Courtney Granderson, another deputy that started the first one.
Okay.
But then I just get other friends, other officers or whatever to come in and help do the programs that what I have them now.
How frequent do y'all get with
Well, since I've been the sheriff, yeah, I don't think I only had a chance to do like 2 because there's so much going on.
Right.
But I was doing, like quarterly, maybe 4 years, something like that, to where you get them in, and whenever you can squeeze the time in to make it happen, go in there and make it happen. I did a trail ride for the kids. You got good grades, hey, come out here, free food, we're gonna ride around the 4-wheelers, free music, safe environment, parents drop them off, let them have fun. Just different incentives to say, well, hey, if I do the right thing, this is what I get. Also understanding that a lot of kids, you can't incentivize good grades because everybody don't get that, but they're good kids. So just showing that, hey, I got perfect attendance. I'm trying, I'm doing, I'm not in trouble. Okay, well, you can still come out. We still doing things. But when I used to go out to the school all the time, my son was there. So before I can get to the class to see my son, it's other teachers that done grab me. Hey, come get this boy. He acting up. He doing this. He doing. So it dawned on my son, hey, Dad, you came over here to see me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't spent no time with him.
Right, yeah.
So the ones that's doing right oftentimes get overlooked because we putting all the attention on the ones that, that's acting up.
Yes.
So that's why I wanted to kind of double back with the kids that don't get a chance to go out. Their parents don't feel safe, and just let them know, hey, this is a safe event. Law enforcement gonna be there. We got them. Just bring them out, let them enjoy themselves.
It's a great idea. I still think the draw should be from young men and women that law enforcement shows up and helps out in an intense situation. That should make an impression on them. But also to see you setting aside the time and the energy to show that you care about them.
Right.
That should matter. But that's, in the church, it's really boggled my mind how many families I've been there for in a hard time, but they don't seem to remember that.
Right.
People don't seem to hold on to that.
They ain't gonna hold on to the good that you do.
But we need that, if our institutions are going to survive, and so that's another way that I know how to pray for this community now. I want to talk about some of the particulars around recent crime, and fully understand you can't share all details. The nightclub shooting, my understanding is that nightclub has been temporarily shut down, but it was a homicide that several people were involved in, actually, and then you've apprehended some of them. Is there anything helpful for the community of Yazoo City to know about that particular crime or what it represents here?
Well, the string of arrests that we've been making stem from a murder back in 2024.
That's a helpful thing to clarify. I thought it was connected to this recent murder. So there was another homicide in 24.
Right.
Okay. So there was 6 or 7 people involved in that, and you've gotten 4 or 5 of them.
Well, it was 10 in this first string.
Oh my gosh.
And we got
10 murderers or murdered?
Murderers.
Okay.
10 people involved, suspects.
Okay.
And we got 7 of them have already been arrested.
All right.
We made no arrests. I didn't know no particulars around the one at the nightclub. We came on scene.
Is that City PD then?
Right.
Okay.
They was steady catching calls while they were trying to work that scene. So me and my guys went out to answer the calls for them.
Okay.
So I hearing stuff, but we're not involved on the investigation on that one.
Okay. You have been posting on Facebook about, so the youth driving around in that pickup with their faces covered, discharging 100 rounds or around that did come from that murder at the nightclub, though, right? Okay, so it started with that, but then city police obviously have also been concerned about these guys. Okay, so what's to be said about these young men driving around shooting guns? Is that the size of it, or are you conducting that investigation? Are there 2 investigations going on, or?
Well, we just trying to stop it.
So you're not trying to make arrests, you're just trying to...
If we can make the arrest on it, yeah, but I know they facing a lot at the police department because they have a very high call volume. We really don't.
Oh, okay.
So we can come in here and we have the time to come in and hone in on this particular thing.
Okay.
Well, they don't have the time to because they short-staffed too, and they get way more calls than we do. So we're just coming in to say, well, hey, we want this shooting to stop. So we're gonna be in the area. We looking for the shooters. If we come across something that we can put the puzzle together, then yeah, we're gonna arrest you on it. But just to show the force to say, hey, you ain't gonna be able to do this. Y'all got to stop this, cause we're gonna find you. We're gonna take you to jail.
Your Facebook post was really forceful around that. There's no, you can come forward right now and we'll maybe go easy on you a little bit, but if you don't, we're gonna get you.
We're coming.
Yeah.
We're coming 100%.
It feels like and I don't know if you don't want to. It feels like a lot of the problems are just cultural, just misunderstandings about what the good life looks like, how to be a good citizen. Do you notice in the criminality here locally, there being things that people just don't understand that they just need to look at different?
Um, you look at it and people don't even know their family no more. Like, we knew all our cousins growing up. They don't know who they kin to. They don't know who they fighting. They don't know why they fighting. You fighting over east side or west side, and it's all Yazoo City. I can throw a rock from one side to the other side. You know, like I don't. It's a, and then you got a generation, maybe the second or third generation of kids that been raised by kids. So nobody's been
Not
parenting.
only absent fathers, but mothers, even if they haven't, just checked out.
Right, a lot of them, they having to work, so they can't be there for the kids. Some of them just don't care to be there for the kids. Some of them don't know how to be there. It's just it's a plethora of issues that we're facing here. So it's not really just one solution for it. And I know you can't arrest the problem. You can't just lock everybody up. It ain't enough said. That's not fixing it, because they're gonna get back out.
It feels like the church in a previous era would have been able to exercise some influence. Mm-hmm. But it feels like the people that need the church the most are the ones that want nothing to do with the church.
It had nobody to introduce them to it. One significant boot camp that I did, we had like 38 kids in this one. And I took them to Yazoo Falls. And like 30 of them had never been outside of Yazoo City. So they thought Yazoo Falls was just amazing, but we go there all the time. And I took them to my church that Sunday. And man, these kids were quoting scriptures like man, how you know that? Because I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But you have a lack of parental involvement, because if I didn't go pick these kids up half the time, nobody brought them. I had several kids walking to the program. I had to take them home. So, I mean, it's just a hard time, because a lot of problem we see now, the parents kind of encouraging their kids. They enabling them to do these things and get away with it. So it's just a big problem. And one thing that I was gonna start going after the parents, but now you lock the parent up, and a child out there by itself. Sure enough now. So I'm trying to figure out how to balance that all out, to make it all work, to where it's actually beneficial to get their attention, to say, well, hey, you can't keep doing this now. If you love your child, then you're going to make sure your child is doing what he's supposed to do, when he's supposed to be doing, being where he's supposed to be at. And all I'm asking you to do is reach out and say, hey, Sheriff, I need your help.
So coming back to my question, is there something folks really just don't understand here? The impression I'm getting is a lot of people here are parents that just don't understand what good parenting looks like. They don't understand it's about being present. It's about teaching your children to obey laws and obey rules, not to try and get away with stuff, but to take joy in actually, being a good citizen. Yeah, a lot of parents. One of the things that's discouraged me from the church angle is how many parents think that life is still about them. Right. A lot of people have a child and they don't realize that now I have decreased in importance. My life is not about me anymore. It's about God first always, but then it's about these people that God has given me. They're under my care.
Right.
And the way that they do is a reflection upon me. And there's a lot of parents that don't seem to feel like their children are an extension of them. Their children, if anything, is just a burden, or
there you go.
A source of entertainment. You know, I look at a lot of parents, and it's like they just want to go to a bunch of sports games, so they put their kids in sports. Play sports for me, or I have 5 kids. I got a 6th on the way. It's wonderful to build up these young people, but if you yourself are a mess, a lot of people don't even feel equipped to build up young people.
Exactly.
So it's, as we're talking through this, it's just problem after problem, all interreacting together for a big mess. You have a hard job. Is there any other local crime either broader issues or specific issues that you want people who watch this to know about or be thinking or praying about?
The biggest thing I want people not to get discouraged thinking that this is just a Yazoo thing.
Right.
Because this is everywhere.
Right.
You know, we just don't have as many resources to tackle it as other places do. But this is not a downplay on Yazoo at all whatsoever, but I'm just being honest about the problem that we're having. The issues, the thing that we see on a daily basis. And there's a lot of people out there that would agree. I've been very vocal about, and the reason why I am, because that's, you know, hey, somebody gonna call, hey, well, I know this person, they can get you this. Grants, I know this person, they can write this grant. So you let people know what kind of help you need, and somebody somewhere will help you. So this is not just a Yazoo City thing. I feel Yazoo City is one of the best places ever. That's why I live here. That's why I'm not moving.
Yeah. I'm
not going nowhere. We're just going through a rough spot right now. Industry is coming here. Madison is getting full, and Yazoo is full of fields, cotton fields, trees. So it's coming this way. You know, we got the Yazoo River, we got Highway 55. You know, we got airports. The recipe is here. We just have to prioritize public safety and make that the focus to get the place safe. Then people will stop moving. The taxpayers are leaving because people, you know, they don't feel safe. I'll be totally fine going to North Park, driving out to go to the mall, as long as I can come back here and know I ain't gotta lock my door. I ain't worried about nobody shooting at me at the gas station or hearing all these gunshots. I can go to the park. I'm totally fine with that, because that's the life I want to live anyway in a you know, rural area. But just knowing that, you know, it's only about, and it's give or take, 20 people that's going out here doing all this shooting and stuff. And it's about 26,000 residents. If we pull together, they can't overthrow us. Those 20 cannot overthrow us if we pull together. So you can come in and give your information, because once you give me your information, nobody gonna know you gave the information. And more often than that, once you tell me something, I'm going to work on it. I'm not just sitting on something. I'm not sending nobody else to do it. You tell me, hey, let's go. Boom, let's go check on it. And that's one of the things that has to happen. You have to build that trust in the community again to want to work with law enforcement, because we can't do nothing without the community. So it's a cry out to the community all the time. Hey, let's work together. You know, you can come to my office, let's talk about it. You got ideas, I put them in play. You know, whatever I can do to say, I want this to come right here. And the only way that we can truly fight crime is with the help of the community. But I can't blame the community for not trusting us because of, you know, what's been going on in law enforcement. So, you know, if you see something, say something.
Yeah.
I put my number out all the time, give me a call.
And what you described fits what I hear in other places, which is, you know, you're not dealing, you know, there might be widespread social issues, but when you're talking about violent criminality, it usually is just a tiny little group that everybody's afraid of. But those bad apples ruin it for everybody.
Yep.
So, yeah, I guess there has to be, people have to trust the authorities in play. And then once the authorities are exposed as corrupt, you have to talk about that.
Right.
But you can't just assume everybody's corrupt.
Right.
If you just assume everybody's corrupt, you don't even know.
Right.
That just serves the ones that's running around shooting. Okay. For people, you know, if it was up to me, everybody'd be Christians, but not everybody here's Christians. For those who do believe in the power of prayer, how do you want them to pray over you and your department?
Just pray for discernment. Give us the will to always fight every day, the will to continue to make the right decisions, the will to want to keep going. You know, we see a lot, we deal with a lot, and this stuff is pulling you further and further away from the church, from God, from your upbringings in this southern heritage that we all have in this southern area. You know, we came from a religious place, but you know, we're getting so further and further away from it every day. So
That's right.
You know, just keep us in prayer, keep us safe, our families. I asked my staff to do a lot. I asked them to do a lot, you know, the trail rides, the events, all this. You know, we hadn't had a shooting at a trail ride since I've been, because we searching vehicles. And my deputies are going out doing this and they're not getting paid for it, you know. So I'm asking them for I'm putting a whole lot on them. So just, you know, keep them in prayer. You know, their families will understand, you know, they will continue to understand that if we don't change this, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. I want to thank, I was really encouraged with how many people in the community watched my conversation with the mayor. I've no doubt a lot of people are going to watch this because you've been very honest.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could just issue some encouragements to those of you who've watched it, pray for the sheriff and his deputies and their families. See if you can't play a role in reestablishing some law and order. See if you can't play a role in, if you know about corruption, exposing that. And if you learn that the sheriff's corrupt, come tell me, because I'll put it on the internet, you know, and he's welcoming you to do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, I would just encourage you to be people of prayer. Pour yourself into your community, into the church. If you want to know how to pray, if you want to know about the Lord, please come here. Let me tell you about him. But if you already have a relationship with the church, go close. But let's bring some order. Let's bring some godliness, some peace to this town. I want to thank you personally for the job that you're doing. A lot of people that could say, hey, I got kids. I don't want to do all this stuff. I'm going somewhere else. You've chosen to stay here. I want to thank you for that. I want to pray for you. I want to urge, if you're watching at home, I want you to pray with me. Father, I lift up Sheriff McCoy to you. Lift up all his deputies. I want to ask your safety and your care for them. I want to ask that you would help them to do what's required in this time. Help them to work together. I want to ask your blessing on their families as they watch their loved ones put their lives on the line for this community. And Father, I don't know what needs to happen, but you do. Lord, help everybody who's serving this town to work together. Help our sheriff to be a man of peace and cooperation. Help local PD, firefighters, aldermen, all of them to work together to take care of these people, all made in your image. You care about all of them, Lord. It's a distressing time to be doing this. It's going on all over this country. Lord, do something different in Yazoo City. Help this be a place where we effectively beat back the gates of hell, where the darkness doesn't keep advancing, but we can beat it back, and we can get back some of the good that's been lost, or maybe build something new and different that it hasn't even been had here before. Lord, glorify yourself in Yazoo City. I want to lift up the young people of this town that don't even know you. I want to lift up their parents that don't even know about the purpose of life, don't even know how to be good parents. Lord, we can't save ourselves. We need you to save us. So send your Holy Spirit and protect us. Protect us from the evil one who wants to devour our children, who wants this town covered in crime. Lord, expose the darkness and to bring about what is good and pleasing in your sight. Empower Sheriff McCoy to be exactly the man needed for this hour. I want to thank you for him, Father. Ask your blessing on him. I ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Sheriff McCoy, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.